subject that has to come in during a discussion of research, the research paper, and the use of sources. Bias. Most used and most misused words in this particular class and this unit. Let's try and spend some time thinking about it. Bias itself should not be our only criteria for good or bad sources. There are many others, and I'll offer some examples here in a minute. It's just one among many, really, and oftentimes it's misused. In the old definition of this term, it just meant a prejudgment of something. Now it's come to mean an opinion or to be opinionated, and more often times it regards an opinion that doesn't match my own, and so I can dismiss a source by saying it's biased, or I can tell people that a source is not biased because it tends to agree with my opinion. That's too bad, because oftentimes what get lost in such dismissal is the fact that the author or the person who's the source might have spent a long time dealing with a subject and really understand something about it, regardless of what their opinion is when they formulate it. People will disregard the opinion just on the face of it, and it's too bad. It's one of the most misspelled words that I see. And I give you the one example there, but you can think of your own. I don't want to equate this to the same importance of misunderstanding the term, but I do see it a lot misspelled, and so that's why I make mention of it here. Remember, we're treating the subjects of our sources and the subjects that our sources talk about in an inductive fashion. You're examining your sources. That's what you're doing when you're looking at this, and so you have to tell me about that source. The source could be good because they're accurate, in which case, how can you tell? You treat it like that fish, and you show me why it's accurate. These sources could be good because they aren't biased, in which case, how can you tell? How can you tell that something's not? Where's the absence of bias, and how can you point to it? Seems impossible, and yet there are ways of doing it. On a controversial topic, perhaps the source covers all the different perspectives or biases, and I can tell this because, and then you can go into detail about how you can tell. Or on a complex topic, they make the complexity clear to the average person, for example, and then you give me some examples because you can describe them because you've done your description assignment. Or it's on a topic where it is important to know the background, and they give a detailed history which we can see. Whether the source has an unusual perspective, which might be its bias, one that you don't normally hear. The subject can be pretty technical. I needed a source that explained the details clearly, and we see this here in this description, or the subject has a long history, so coverage mattered most. Show me that your source is authoritative. Justify your source. The process is inductive, like Scudder and his fish. Just as I demonstrated before. There they are again. Just like those subjects before us. The criteria we don't use to judge sources are not these, I hope. Sources are good because they're short, their opinion agrees with mine, I could find them faster, my teacher or librarian or someone else told me to. It has to be inductive. You have to be looking at the source itself.